Now it's time to get some traffic, and to do that, we're going to use AdWords. I told you before that's because that's going to allow us to get the amount of traffic that we need to quickly determine if this is, going to be a winner, something that we want to hold on to. Here is our main 4 modules, and now we're at the end. We've already picked our product. We've done our research. We've picked our test product, done our research, even got our website up, and we're all ready to go. We could be making money right now. And as a matter of fact, we could be making money in just a few hours because we can set up an AdWords account, get our campaigns live, and start generating traffic right away. So that's where we're at here. The last module, traffic with AdWords. And the reason that we're doing AdWords again is because we're still at really a test phase. Before we move on to some of the other traffic generation methods, we've got to find out as quickly as possible, is this a winner? Did we pick a good product to promote? And AdWords is going to be the easiest way for us to figure that out in the quickest amount of time. Here is the basic overview. This is a very simplistic view of it. Obviously, there's a lot more involved in here. And we are going to be, touching on these different elements. But basically, we've got to create our campaign. We want to generate between 300 and 500 clicks per day. It's not going to take more than a couple of days for us to figure out, do we have a winner? But we got to get that traffic quickly and lots of it. One thing about that, though, is it's not just all about traffic. It's targeted traffic, and I'll hit on that later on. So when I say 300 to 500 clicks and we want to get traffic, I'm not just talking about sending anybody there. Okay, it's got to be people that are, somewhat pre-screened, and I'll show you how we do that later. Track and evaluate. So after we get the 300 to 500 clicks, we're going to examine our data. And this is where the tracking comes in that we were setting up earlier. And we've got to evaluate to see which keywords are working, which keywords are possibly converting, which ones are not. And that helps us to know where we're at in the campaign so that you've got a competitive edge. You know where to cut your losses. But basically, at this phase, we know, and we can pick our winners and our losers. We know which product is absolutely not going to work, and we know which ones are at least a potential hopeful or definitely are working out really good for us. And really, it's my vision that you go through this, if you do your work right and it is a viable solution, there's a very good chance you're going to make a good bit of money right from the get-go. Okay, but remember, if we break even, that's actually fantastic because we can tweak it. It's worth the effort. We scale up the winners. So after we pick our winners, throw away the losers, then we're going to determine, okay, this product, product A, very good potential here. So I'm going to focus my effort on it, and I'm going to fine-tune the campaign so I find out which keywords are performing, which keywords are not performing, and obviously I want to put all my muscle toward the keywords that are performing. So we trim it down, make it a lean, mean, money-making machine, and then it's all about just managing your campaign from that point on. At the first 30 days, you're going to be babysitting this thing pretty frequent. Okay, but after about 60 days, then you just check on it maybe once a week, and after that 90 days, I just check up on my campaigns every once in a while when I just think about it after they're 90 days old. What is the goal? There are actually a few goals that we've got. One of the main ones is that this is a quick and easy test. I cannot stress enough, at this phase, we're still just testing this particular offer to see if it's going to be profitable. So we want to do that really fast. That's why I want those 300 to 500 clicks, and that's why I'm going to just let it run for a couple of days. If I get 1,000 clicks, even less than that sometimes, I can tell this is a winner or it's a loser. We would like to put each keyword in its own ad group. Now, each keyword is going to go in an ad group, but the ad group is going to have 2 ads. So we've got an ad and an ad variation. The purpose of that is you want to do some testing. You will be able to mix and match between, you don't have to come, in other words, if you've got, let's say you've got 10 keywords, you're not going to have to come up with 20 completely different ads. Okay, you can borrow from the other ones and kind of mix and match, but you want to be doing 2 variations in each ad group, and ideally you just got 1 keyword per ad group. Now, when we did the website, the landing pages, we did 3 themes. You do not have to do a different landing page for every single ad group, but I mean, if it was a perfect world, you would be doing that, but I don't want you to have to do 10 or 11 12 different landing pages. What you can do is it depends on how you've grouped and organized everything, but if you can group it so that there are ad groups that are very similar, you can point those to the same landing page. Okay. After you've got this going for a while, though, there's a really good chance that you're going to get down to about maybe 4 or 5 real high-performing keywords, and those are the ones that you're going to want to focus on. And yes, you definitely want to have a landing page for each high-performing keyword. Remember, we're all about tracking. That's how we're going to stay ahead of the competition, is because we actually know what's going on. We know what's selling. We know where we're getting our traffic from. We know what keywords are sending us that traffic, and we know what keywords are converting. Right? How do we do that? By making sure that we pass the ID. Remember that ID that we set up? A for AdWords, and then we go 100, 200, 300 for each different keyword. Well, that enabled us to pass this data on to ClickBank that, this person clicked because they searched for such and such keyword. They searched for that keyword, they clicked our ad, and they clicked through to the offer. So now when we get over there and we run some reports, we can find out, whoa, here is a keyword that is outperforming the other keywords. So there again, I want to put my muscle where that keyword is. And this is just a sample. Okay, www.mysite.com/sale.php. So sale.php is the file that, it's the document that shows the web page. And then here is the part that is the code. $ID equals, and then our identifier that we put in there. Okay, the goal here, big time, track. The more you track, the more profitable that campaign is going to be. And lastly here, the goal is actually a sale, not traffic. I was telling you before about 300 to 500 clicks a day, and we want traffic, but we want targeted traffic. That cannot be stressed enough. You want to kind of qualify people with your ad. You don't want to just be getting traffic. So in other words, you don't create an ad that appeals to everybody when you know good and well, once it gets down to the offer, that's not going to appeal to everybody. So don't send irrelevant traffic. Remember, we're dealing with everything as a package. Your offer, your landing page, your ad, everything. You want to appeal to a specific person. So everything has that focus from the very beginning. The first time that they're exposed to you through your ad, they get the same exact feeling all the way through. They've got the same picture from beginning to end. Now let's look at some ad basics. You want to make sure that you use keywords in the ad. So when I create an ad, let's say I'm going off of a keyword that says learn to play guitar. So I got a keyword phrase, learn to play guitar. That's kind of a long one, but I'm going to try to incorporate it in the ad. And the reason that I do that is, number one, Google shows that ad is more relevant because it has the exact keyword that was searched for. Plus, you get the benefit of that text being bolded whenever the ad is displayed. What Google does is when you do a search for something, any ad that had the keyword, that keyword is bolded, so it kind of helps it stand out a little bit. Dynamic insertion is lame. Don't use it. It does not help your quality score one bit, and we definitely want to focus on helping the quality score out, because that helps you get better positioning for less actual cost. Here's another trick. Put your keyword in front of the display URL, and that will look somewhat like this. If you're totally brand new to AdWords, let me explain something. You've got your display URL and you've got your destination URL. The display URL is what the people see when, let me go ahead and I'll pull up Google here. And let's do a search on learn to play guitar. Okay, just do a quick and easy search here. And I'll show you right here. This is the display URL. This part right here. Now, that's not necessarily where I'm going to go to, and I'm not going to click on it to find out, because that would be kind of lame. I'd cost these people, 30, 40 cents, whatever they're bidding on that. But that's the display URL. The destination URL can be different than that. So you can put different things in here. Like, notice they're putting, some of them do not put the www, okay, because that's kind of, it's wasted space, really. Use something else. Like here, they put learnguitar.officialreviews.us. Okay, here's the guitar.smartguyreviews.com. So in other words, use that so that, again, it stands out. You'll notice, see how guitar was in the search term that I searched for, and it's bolded. Everywhere it appears, it's bolded. Now look at this. This is Gibson. They are a huge brand name in guitars. They did not do that, though, in their display URL. It just shows Gibson.com. Now, they can probably get away with it because they're Gibson. But it would be better, really, if they would put the keywords that they're bidding on in that display URL. See how short that is? They're like wasting space there. The thing is, their marketers, no doubt, are taking advantage of the fact that they think their brand name is so powerful that it'll carry itself. But in reality, if you're brand new into guitar playing and you don't know anything about Gibson, that brand name's not going to help you. Okay, so it would be better to go ahead and take advantage of those keywords. Okay, so put that in front of, forget the www, forget that, just do keyword.domain.com. Now, let me give you some rules on this. The domain has to actually be real. Those of you that know about websites and how that works, you know that this would be considered a subdomain, the keyword right here. So that would be considered a subdomain, and this is the real domain. As far as Google is concerned, it doesn't really care if, as far as the display URL, if this subdomain does not really exist in the display URL. So you can make up whatever you want. Just put your keyword there, .domain.com. The domain, though, does have to be real. So you can't use a domain that is somebody else's or that is, just keywords that you made up that doesn't really exist. So, and I could, like if I wanted to, let's say I owned a website, and I'm just making one up off the top of my head, getguitartraining.com. I could do learnguitar.getguitartraining.com, even though Learn Guitar doesn't exist anywhere on my server. Okay, but I have to own getguitartraining.com. Okay, you get the idea. Use strange characters in your ad. Things like the question mark, the percent sign. Use numbers in your ad. Those stand out. Use the trademark symbol. The reason is, and there's not any examples of it really here except for the question mark. Well, and that's a good actually is a good example because there aren't any here. If I had percent signs in here somewhere, if I had a percent sign in my headline, your eye would be like drawn to it because you're looking through here and that's something that you don't see. You see all this text, learn, play guitar, learn, play guitar. How could I distinguish myself? By throwing in some type of, character that you're not expecting to see. Use one thought per line. Like in the examples here, this is a poor written ad. Want to learn guitar, avoid being ripped off, read our reviews first. See how it flows from one line to the next? Don't do that. Deal with each line as its own independent thought. They did it down here too. Free online guitar lessons from the master Arlen Roth at Gibson.com. If you run things together, people just, it does not really, they want to look at that line and that line say something all by itself. And then the next line, make a point, say something all by itself. So don't break things up like that. And then capitalize the first letter of each word. That, I don't even have to explain that. It's obvious even if you look on the presentation that I'm giving you right now on the screen, you can tell that this line not only draws attention, but it's easier to read than, for example, this line up here. Okay, so it's a given whenever you're doing advertising. Some of these people did it, some of them didn't. These Gibson people, I need to talk to them. They, same thing here. Just they don't know how to get with the program. But some of these people do. See this one here, Learn Guitar System, they capitalize the first letter of every word. They didn't do it on this one. Did it on this one, except for isn't a, but that's no big deal. Same thing here. All right, so every single one, capitalize each letter. All right, some more ad basics. You're looking to get an emotional response from the person that sees your ad. The ads that are successful are the ones that cause some type of passion. They make a connection and compel that person to follow through and click on the ad. You want to use words like special offer, limited time offer, discover, learn. As human beings, we are always looking for a very special opportunity because we always hear about, somebody had some terrific opportunity and they were very fortunate and it worked out really well for them. That's in our minds, that we're looking for an opportunity. So use words like this that people are wanting to see, how they can discover the secrets to learning guitar, discover the secrets to playing your favorite songs on the guitar. Those are the things that appeal to people. Don't use the word free. The only exception to that, which with ClickBank, it's not going to be applicable because ClickBank does not do physical products. But the only exception to that is if you were to use something like free shipping. Other than that, not only do people think that it's kind of lame if you use the word free, but Google doesn't like it either because Google knows that nothing is free. And even if you say something like click, you can't use the word click. Even if you use something like get your free report, they know good and well, Google does, I'm talking, that nothing is free and that person's name and email address that you're wanting them to enter to get that report, that's worth something. So they're basically going to call you a liar and hike up your bids big time because, again, it's not really free. Set your broad match bid a little lower than the number that you actually came up with in your budgeting and in your research. The reason for that is the broad match is less targeted. So in my opinion, it's not worth quite as much. Here's an advanced technique. Don't try this at the very beginning when we're trying to, just qualify the offer and find out if it's a winner or a loser. But once the campaign is going, you decide, I'm going to go with it, and you keep going. This is an advanced technique. Bid high to make sure that you get a real high position. You're going to throw away a little bit of money here doing this, okay? But you're going to bid high, get in that first position. Hopefully, what is supposed to happen is that because of your extra exposure, you're going to get more clicks. Once that happens, your click-through rate goes up. So then you will start reducing your bid over time. Okay, slowly drop it, 3 or 4 cents, and let it run for a few days, drop it again, and just kind of back off until you see a change in the traffic that it's generating. But the reason that you're doing this is because once you get a real high click-through rate, Google's going to kind of be buddies with you anyway. So they're going to allow you to pay less, and because of your increased quality score and the fact that you have a high click-through rate, they're still going to show your ad up top. Because as far as Google's concerned, if you've got a higher click-through rate and you're bidding 25 cents, and Joe Blow down here has not a high click-through rate, and he's bidding 35 cents, Google says, hey, I'd rather go with you because chances are they're going to click on you than take the chance with Joe. So I'm going to put your ad up top anyway, even though you're bidding less than him. Okay, so that's an advanced technique. Now, we're going to go ahead in the next video and start dealing with some management stuff. I want to talk to you about how to, things like handling rejection when Google doesn't like your ad, what to do if they make changes, how you can, I even want to go over how you can determine if an offer, even though it doesn't seem to be performing, how do you make the determination of whether to go for it or to just forget it and move on? Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.